I live.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Danielle and Dole-Whips. Today's video might be a little bit of a surprise, but it might also be scheduled. I don't know when I'm gonna upload this. I just had this idea to do this video just now, so I'm gonna film it. I might ramble a little bit, but that's because I just came up with this idea to make this video. With applications coming out in about 2 to 3 weeks, within that time frame, I thought I would really take a minute and break down the application process for you and give a thorough, full, this is what you can expect video for the application process so that you feel more confident going into it. I don't know if I'm going to post this the morning that applications are dropped or if I'm going to post this like a couple days before. I have no idea when applications are coming out, so it might be just luck of when I release this video. So first I want to talk a little bit about what the Disney College Program is. And the Disney College Program is kind of like a study abroad / internship with Disney. So students all across the country and all across the world apply to the Disney College Program. About 30,000 students apply each semester and only about 5,000 get in. Not to scare you, but those are your chances. There's 3 aspects to the Disney College Program: living, learning, and earning. With living, you will be provided Disney housing. You do have to pay rent each week. You live with roommates and you are real close to Disney property, if not on Disney property. And that is pretty much it. You have 4 different apartment complexes to choose from, which I'm going to be posting a video about that later on. And so, yeah, you live in Disney World. The second aspect of that is learning. With this, you have a couple of options. You have the first option, which is what I'm doing. I am taking online classes through my college, and I have applied to Disney for distance learning, which they chunk off about 4 hours per week for you that you are not going to be scheduled, and so that you can dedicate that time to your studies. I'm doing that. I'm taking 2 classes at the college that I go to. They're online courses. And so, yeah. The second option for that is going to be taking a class with Disney. Now, these are hard to get into, but if you have the opportunity, definitely go for it. Sometimes also, depending on your school, you can get the credits to transfer in for another class that you would be taking later on. And the third key aspect is earning. With the Disney College Program, you will be placed in a specific role at a location, and you will work for the Disney company in either one of the theme parks or one of the resorts, or Disney Springs or one of the water parks. You will work on Disney property as a Disney cast member. They also have like a Disneyland part of that. So you can work in either location. You can work anywhere in the parks, anywhere in there. And some of the main roles are quick service food and beverage, which is what I am, attractions, custodial, housekeeping, bell services, front desk. I'm trying to remember some other ones off the top of my head. Merchandise. Oh, and some people get to do the Bippity Boppity Boutique / Pirate League. So those are your 3 aspects and the best way to describe the Disney College Program. So applications just came out. What do I do? My biggest advice, honestly, and this is kind of a rumor, it's kind of skeptical, but I say it wouldn't hurt, is to wait a day. You know, applications for spring 2018 came out on August 21st, and I didn't apply till August 22nd, and I still got in. So if you wait a day, sometimes these systems will bug out on the first day. Sometimes they will just get overwhelmed with applications. So you might be better off to just kind of wait a day. I know you're excited. I know you want to get your application in, but it's a higher chance that everything will run smoothly. For your application, a couple of questions that are commonly asked is, do I have to have a resume? No, you don't. That is a complete myth. You do not have to have a resume prepared. I didn't attach a resume. It'll ask you still to input all of that information, whether you have a resume or you don't. So you still have to put in all your work information, your previous work history, your previous education history, your name, your email, your address, your, like, I think your social, and normal stuff when you're applying for a job. The DCP application really isn't that different than applying for a job. The only part that might be a little bit different is during the application, you will put down your role interest. So it'll say like housekeeping, and then it'll have like 4 little buttons, and it'll say no interest, low interest, medium interest, or high interest. And it'll do that for all the different roles that are available to the college program students. And you'll go through that and you'll mark them down. My word of advice, be honest with yourself. If you have no interest in being custodial, mark that down. If you have no interest in being a lifeguard, mark that down, because even if you put low interest, you will still be considered for that role. So after you send your application in, you will receive an email like this one. I'm gonna pop it up, that says, you know, thank you for applying. We have your application. Do not send in a second application, you know, blah, blah, blah. And so at this point, you start the first waiting game. The next thing that you will hear from Disney is either you have been no longer in consideration, or you are moving on to your web-based interview or your WBI. Now I'm going to go over what no longer in consideration means in a little bit, but let's move to the WBI. So after you get your WBI, I believe you have 3 days to complete it. What it is a timed personality test that it's multiple choice and rating. So you'll log on, you'll log in, and you'll start your test. Take your test in a place that you are comfortable. Take your test in a place that is going to be quiet and that you have time to think about your answers. There are, I believe, 4 different sections of the WBI. There's a 3 of those sections, I believe, don't quote me on this because I was so overwhelmed that like I can't remember my WBI lot. 3 sections of the WBI are based on rating. So it'll say something like, I am a good leader, and it'll say strongly disagree, neutral, agree, or strongly agree. My word of advice for this part of the WBI is to stay away from neutral. Disney can work with either a leader or not a leader, but they don't want to work with someone who's not really sure. So try to stay away from the neutral answers as much as you can. The 4th part of the WBI is a multiple choice. It'll say something like, if your job is to stock this one section, but one of your cast members needs help doing this, what would you do? And you know, it gives you different options, and that part of the exam is timed. So you do need to go with your gut answer. You won't have time to think about it, and remember, an answer is better than no answer. So once you complete your WBI, mine was a little different because it sent me straight into the phone interview, but I've heard some people will be told, you know, thank you for taking your WBI. You will hear back from us before, and then like November 17th was the cutoff date for spring advantage, or spring. And so after your WBI, you will either get that email or you'll get moved on to your phone interview. Also, at that point, you can receive NLIC directly after your web-based interview. So, your phone interview. I made a video. You can find it down below, and it is 5 tips and tricks for rocking your phone interview. But the phone interview, you'll just schedule it. You will talk to a Disney recruiter. They'll talk to you about some of the different roles that you put for high interest or low interest, or, you know, what makes you think you're a good asset of the Disney company. You know, some other things, they will ask if you have any tattoos or any piercings other than 2 holes in each, or 1 hole in each ear for girls. Know the measurements of your tattoo before you start your interview. It'll save you a lot of time because they do ask for the measurements. They ask where it's located, and sometimes they do ask what it is. So know all of that, have that written down in front of you so that you can answer them efficiently and correctly. Because when you go to traditions and you go to casting, they do check you for those. So after you complete your phone interview, really the waiting game begins. Acceptances start going out about 3 weeks after applications drop usually, but they can really start coming out at any time. It's super random. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. It's completely random. You'll have spring and spring advantage people get accepted on the same day. You'll have quick service food and beverage and custodial and housekeeping and front desk get accepted on the same day. There's no rhyme or reason. It's not alphabetical. So really just take a breath. Try not to obsess over your email too much. And just wait it out. And that's really the best advice I can give you. While you are waiting, go on the Facebook pages, get to know people. However, I would say as just a courtesy thing, as someone who was accepted early on, try not to post any roommate surveys or say that you're looking for roommates until you are accepted, because I know a couple of groups who 1 or 2 people weren't accepted and it really kind of screwed them over for housing, because they went in with the idea of like, oh, this is going to be our roommate, and then that person never got accepted, which is heartbreaking, and I'm so sorry if that has happened to you. But just as a courtesy, try to only seriously look for roommates once you are accepted. So that's my little tidbit there. Everyone has their own opinion on it. That's just mine. So let's take a minute and talk about no longer in consideration, or NLIC. I am very fortunate that this was my first time applying. I have never been NLIC'd from Disney. But from what I gather, you would receive an email that says thank you for your consideration in the, or thank you for your interest in the Disney College program. Unfortunately, at this time, you are no longer in consideration for the Disney College program. And then it will tell you that you can try again next semester, giving you an idea of when apps will drop. So if you are NLIC, it will suck, it will sting, but you just gotta pick yourself up and move along and really, see that light at the end of the tunnel. I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. They're words that I live by. And so, yeah, you just gotta take it with a grain of salt and just maybe next semester will be your time to shine. So that is all the time I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I tried to make it kind of as educational as I could about the application process and as thorough as I could. I applied back in August and I'm filming this in January, so if you want to know how my application process went, I will put the link down below to my application process video. But this one's more of like an educational, here's what to expect during your application process. So again, I hope this helped you guys. If you like it, give it a big thumbs up. Also hit the subscribe button down below to see new videos from me. And that is all I have for you guys. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!